In case anybody's wondering what's going on, I'm writing the DMG at the moment. I seem to have lost 22 pages from the update, which I'm not happy about, so I'm having to undo this. This is the dangers section. It's 16 adventure seeds, and they're different locations. And I'm writing down some general ideas, and I'll be fleshing them out later. And some of these are a lot easier to do than others. Glandtree is probably the easiest, because Glandtree has the most canon locations, though almost all of them are inside the city, so I'm having to make some up, because I don't want to just have everything inside Glandtree City, which was a major problem with the Gazetteer, because it only talks about one city. So, yeah, that's what's been going on. So I'm just working on it, if anybody's actually watching. If not, I'll just keep writing and talking, and got a few people. Okay. Let me see what's going on. I don't know why these two do not like each other. Yeah, I didn't have... No, just show it to me. Oh man, I suck at this. I am just not the kind of... I just do not... Me and YouTube do not get along most of the time. Okay, so where are you showing this at? Okay. And the cats have decided they disagree with it. So, if you guys got any suggestions, toss them out, because I am listening. Yep. Yeah, Bobby. Unfortunately, they were important. That's why I'm having to rewrite them. Okay, so let's see. Okay, places that you don't want to be in Glandtree. First off, we got the Tower of Size, and I go through the Gazetteer and try to find all the canon stuff. There's the nucleus of the spheres. That's in there. Let me see. Court of the Beggar King. Let me see. What else do we got? Bring up the... let's find a map. Let's find a map. So here's some ideas. We've got... you wanted a good adventure hook. Why not the Renaissance Catacombs of Italy? So we'll go and we'll get the Catacorins. And so we'll do the Catacombs of Cereccia. That sounds like a good... that sounds like a good place to adventure. Yeah, random city encounters, gang fight. No, these are adventure locations. Let me see. What is the Scots Gaelic word for graveyard? Or cemetery? Always willing to... A clod. What about graveyard? Clod is boring. It's clod either way. Alright. Clod. C-L-A-D-H. See? You want to know where I get some of these ideas? I just translate it. Good Scots Gaelic. Okay, so we've got the map of... Okay, so we go to Crown Guard. And what about a haunted... a good haunted graveyard for the Scots. There we go. Glenmorlock on the Scotch Breach. Good place to put a lot of undead. Let me see. We'll put a, let me see. Temple of the Unknown Immortal. We'll put a somewhere in Moldovia. And the vampires can't go into it, so people who can get to it can claim sanctuary. That's a good plot twist, I think. Let's see. Uganach. Yeah, that would, Black Spheres are the otherworldly dungeon masters. That would make a lot of sense. Yeah. A lock. Yeah. Just 350. How much did it go? About that time I noticed that that gala glass was 9 stories tall. Okay, so we've got 7. Let me see. Valley of the Wolves. That's actually canon. Werewolf City Town. The White Queen Palace. There's a Finnish creature of folklore called a Halileska. It's got multiple names, but that was the one I first found. It was the only one I could pronounce because it's Finnish and Icelandic and a bunch of other stuff. And it's the Snow Queen. We'll put a Snow Queen Palace up in the hills, especially in Bergthoven, where they love the fire wizards. And there's no, of course, it's a Snow Queen, so they don't match, but she's well beyond the scope of just about all the monsters. I'll have Victor give me a good translation because he's Finnish. He's working on Drag Raider with me right now. Okay, Basilitem Tower. Just Basilitem. Okay, this Basilitem is something else I'm adding up. It is a haunted clockwork tower in Alban, where if you want to go in and get the treasures, you just have to get through all the clockwork horrors that are still stuck there. Casa de Reza. Trying to grab something from... oh, good lord, that looks horrible. The Takas is on my street. I will have fiber optic hopefully in 2 weeks. Yeah, you want to see how that's going? It's going slow, but then I'll be actually able to stream something that doesn't look all fuzzy. Because, yeah, this is, this sucks. Okay, yeah, Casa de la Reza, it's, basically the training academy for the Belkadi swordsmen. And if you're not welcome there, if you're not invited, you're not welcome. They can stab you a lot. I try to include a different adventure location for each major province, and so for Glandtree there's 10 of them. Just to show you how it's working. Let me see. After that, we've got. Let me see. The Pramayava. What is his? Krandahar Singhabad. Singhabad. All right. Yeah, this is actually a canon location. There's a private hunting ground where Prince Verlote, the Ethengar Prince, name escapes me for a second, will release condemned criminals into his garden and then hunt them down for sport. If they can make it, until the next sundown, he lets them go. 3 people have escaped. That's it. Let me see. And then we have the Mystara Stellar Observatory. That, again, is a canon location. It's the most prestigious stellar observatory in Glandtree, and the road to it is guarded by a very jealous green dragon, who only lets the people that they can drive him off or who can bribe him appropriately to get through. Everybody else dies. Let me see. Garden of Histories. That's also canon. I've been doing some deep dives on these. Garden of Histories is a bunch of statues in the over in the elf land, the elfy land, down in Erewhon, and it's basically they take living statues, they give them the knowledge of their various scholars, and you can walk through the garden, and they will tell you histories. So that's a bunch of them. Let me see. It's supposed to be 16. Who am I missing? Oh, let me see. There's Lamsa. You want to know what? Lamsa is home of the first canon appearance of monks in Mystara. And they have their own little monastery. And what is the name of that damn thing? Let's find out. The Silver Guard? That's on my boat. Yeah, so many ethnic stereotypes. Let me see. Murder in the Orient Tower. Yeah, it took me forever to realize that they've got like 20-something adventure hooks, and almost all of them take place within a mile of each other. Yeah, Hospice of the Mystic Healers. Is that it? Let me read that real quick. Yeah. Guys, I got DSL. When I get rid of DSL, I've already talked to Tex and trying to get AJ and Fred on board and some other guys. We're gonna have a DSL stream just to celebrate me actually joining modern society, because I am stuck at 240. It sucks. I hate it. My wife hates it. My daughter hates it. Everybody hates it. My father-in-law hates it. My mother-in-law hates it. The neighbor across the street, who I've had 3 conversations with, hates it. Like, the lady at Taka said, "Hey, are you interested in if we bring it to your house? Would you be interested in fiber optic?" He's like, "Ma'am, if you were here in front of me right now, I would mouth kiss you." Okay. Yeah. That is absolutely, yeah, it's just absolutely atrocious. I mean, this DSL was obsolete 30 years ago. And it's just, oh my God. Okay, so the Hospice of Mystic Healers is where the monks hang out. So we'll put them on the list. Okay, other good place. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not. I'm a big fan of nostalgia, just not when it comes to internet service. I can do without ASL and dial-up. Because let me tell you, looking at myself in full view, oh, I'm a mighty handsome man. Okay, so next up, we've got to find 2 more places to have adventures, and we were going to go. Let me see. Where is the farmers? Dig it up now. Somebody actually accused me of being racist because I made a joke about the west side of Glandtree City and how the Puerto Ricans were moving in, and he thought that was being racist, despite the fact that the the image at the screen was sharks and jets trying to, dance fight each other to death, and everything was very clearly, obviously, a West Side story. But no, some people just didn't understand the joke. He even reported me to YouTube for racism. Despite, yeah. Somebody needs to go out and see some more musicals. Though not the latest version. The latest version was just kind of eh. Give me the Natalie Wood version. What kind of wood doesn't float? Natalie Wood. Yeah, that's a terrible joke, but it's still funny. Okay. So here we go. We got the free fundamentalist farmers. So we will add Sablestone to it. This is the one where the farmers are actively... Brahmia, I believe it was. The one with the farmers. The farmers are actively sabotaging the farmers are actively sabotaging any new nobles to keep the area from being turned into a principality. This program is Zara. I don't think they call it Zara anymore. Let me see. What is it? I have got a lot of windows open. I have 8 open windows. Zara Designer Pro. It runs you about $300 unless you have a previous copy, which I did, in which case it will run you $200. You guys, through the last video, managed to fund the entire first chapter and get me this, and get me the upgrade. So the art will be coming. Rubus has the one last piece to finish. We're going to be doing that. Hey guys, we're gonna be doing that. He's got some contractual obligations he's got to take care of first, and then we're going to get started on the DMG art. Yeah. Oh, I can tell you all sorts of all sorts of dead celebrity jokes. Yeah. Okay, so we've got Bromnia, so we need 16. We got one more, and let's find a good location. Of course, you guys can't see me flipping through the book, because there's really nothing to show. They don't give you anything outside of like Glandtree City. No other city gets any detail at all, except for a few minor things. And it's like what they could have done with this. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Here's the okay, so this is Mass Rebellion. Okay. So there has been progress made on the the mass combat stuff. Hopefully I'll be able to get it written down and get it out for playtest. I gotta find a place to host the playtest. That's gonna be but yeah, gonna need a lot of people to just kick things around. Yeah, Fort Stablestone. Is there any exciting people in some locations? Let's find somebody exciting. What about Lord Ermahid Krinigar? Okay, no, he's not. He's boring. Let me see. Our Lady Arbana Jabbar. Nope, she doesn't have anything exciting. Yeah, just grab people. We're doing a deep dive, so grab somebody at random and see if they have a story to tell. Lady Natasha Dachinka. Nope. I gotta find somebody that comes from an exciting place. Maybe Castle Amber, but Castle Amber's burned down by then. Castle Amber actually takes place about 30 years before the actual stuff. Yeah. Yeah, well, they gave them more pages with the Glandtree Gazetteer, but they gave it to Monty Cook, and he spent all the extra. He spent all the extra space he had on spell lists because it's Monty Cook. So yeah, I've got this is going to be a 5-chapter book. Let me see. So what else do we have? Come on, give me something special. Go down to the Adventure Sooks, because that's where you get Lamsa. The Taverns of Glen Morlock. Actually, I just used Glen Morlock. Here we go. Well, there's actually Glen Morlock gets mentioned twice. And then the schools get mentioned a lot. Okay, let me see. And the problem is there's very few things, for a lot of these, there's very few adventure hooks. Very few at all. Especially like official modules. Like there's no modules set in Ethengar. Some of the novels are set in Ethengar, but they're set in the past. And they're awful. Yeah, and I try not to duplicate anything on here. So if it's been mentioned before, I can't use it. Let me see. Chateau de Morlaix, that's the Valley of Wolves. We've already got that. Beggar's Court, we've already got that. Yeah, and of course the map doesn't do us any good, because it just gives you all these names, but it doesn't give you any details on them. I mean, here you go. You've got Forteresse de Yolon. Okay, what happened there? You know, I know they were like, this is all for you to decide, and for you to do all this stuff. But when you're writing a book, that doesn't help. It doesn't help at all. The worst D&D modules I ever read, pretty much the Mystara line. Though there was a lot of towards TSR when they were just spamming out crap. I had my landlady ended up with a federal charge when she emptied out all of her husband's accounts and fled the state with a warrant for her. And when you cross state lines with a warrant, it becomes a federal crime. So her boyfriend left a bunch of old D&D books, and I started reading them and realized they sucked because it was all just a formula. It's like, okay, old established character and young teenager tag along, and then the old guy will go away at some point. But yeah, the Dragon Lord series, I got that. I like reading it. I like trying to make it. I forced my way through the first book, made it halfway through the second book. It's like, okay, there is absolutely no drama in here. It's like, oh, we're doing all of this stuff, and it ends. And the end, that is all. And it's like, we defeat everybody. How? I don't know. We did it. So, okay, so here's a nice place up here, Dovehold. And it doesn't say anything about what this place is. So let's go to the Vaults of Pandius real quick. Eventually. Oh, it's saving, so I can't look at it for another few minutes because it's saving. And when it saves, the screen goes entirely all black. So all I can see is auto backup Mystara Dungeon Master's Guide. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. Search. Has anybody ever wrote anything about Dovehold? It's the anti-Ravenloft. This is where they put all the lawful good people. Yeah. Let me see. The Mystara DMG is still 5th edition specific. Yes, because there is a legal reason for that. The fan creation license says if you're going to use any property that Mystara or that Wizards still calls theirs, you have to make it 5th edition. If I could, I could make this. I would make it BECME. I would make it compatible with the Rules Cyclopedia. I would update it for that. But legally, if I write this and I release it, I can get into trouble if I don't follow the 5th edition. And I have received people have informed on me for that. That was the whole thing with I put this up on RPG.net, and they took it down and accused me of plagiarism and piracy. And I was able to get that overturned. And I'm actually one of the few people ever on RPG.net to have their suspension or their ban overturned. And the mods even admit it's like, oh, okay, we kind of jumped the gun. Yes, especially if they neglect the IP. You can't, if they have not released it for the DMs Guild, I can't sell this. So I'm going to have to give this away and ask you guys, and just basically pass the hat. I can't crowdfund because it's their IP. So I can't put a Kickstarter or Kickstarter or a GoFundMe says, hey, you give me money, I give you art, and we do it that way. Now, if you guys just donate money out of the kindness of your heart, that's not a problem. That's why I'm getting the first chapter of art done. But the fan creation license and as related as the open gaming license, they are specific, and it's written in legalese. And if you violate it, they will take you down, and they have in the past for some people. Especially with those guys at TSR who completely pissed them off. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, you guys gave me money for art. I can repurpose the art for anything. Any idea why they aren't using Mystara? Yes, I have quite a few ideas why they aren't using Mystara. One, because they don't know what it is. A few years back, they asked one of the guys in charge, like, what can you tell me about Mystara? And he goes, that was that weird setting with the strange metals. So he'd only ever read the Savage Coast. Mystara, or Wizards, is very risk averse. They have the people that say, is like, hey, this book represents real life cultures, and that offends me, so you can't publish it. They don't ask the people that, are thrilled because their real life culture is represented. Yeah, they Jake the Warlord. The best place to donate to me is the PayPal link. If you go into my, if you just click on Mr. Welch and you go to the About, that's where it is. Like I said, as long as I don't formally fundraise, that's okay. And I've got like a Rubus. Like I said, I got to raise like 5,000. Zen Gunman. Just to repeat, go to the About section on my page, and then if you go to the About section, you scroll down, you'll see the PayPal donation link. Like I said, every piece of art is going to cost me about $60. That's basically a rough calculation, because not all the art is the same style and stuff like that. Because like we were discussing, things that the art we're going to need. One of the piece of art is going to have the Princess Ark exchanging broadsides with an illithid nautilus, a nautiloid, because it's awesome. That's what you want to see. That's what I talked to Rubus. Is like, people want to see awesome art. If you look at the art for 5th edition now, it's very static. A lot of there's no threat. You're looking at all these people and it's like, we're just going to stand here like we're waiting in line to get our driver's license. Yeah, I never used the deck of many things. I used the deck of many different things. Yeah, that was the one where one guy drew a card, and because of that, he automatically relieved the pain of any woman giving birth within 100 yards, because he took all the pain from her. That was not a popular card, but all the women loved him. Like, yeah, I just went through 48 hours of labor like nothing. And it's like, I wonder who the guy in the other room that was screaming the entire time was. Yeah. Then we had another card which gave somebody speak with animals at will, but it only worked on freshwater trout. Yeah, and then another one polymorphed a fighter into Abe Vigoda. Didn't give him any of Abe Vigoda's powers. He just looked like Fish from Barney Miller. Yeah, the VTT is going to need more programmers before it needs money. I've seen the opening reviews, and they screwed up on that one, because, yes, they invited all these people to play and said, bring friends, but they only had the people they invited sign NDAs, so all their friends spoiled it. Yeah, okay, and then, yeah, I've seen people talk about how Mystara is Eurocentric, but okay, let's break it down. You've got 16 nations from the Gazetteers. You can throw Serene in there because it's kind of a nation, but it's going to get tossed out almost immediately. Okay, so you break it down. Take out the so that's 17. Take out all the demi-human or the non-human ones. So that leaves, you lose Alfheim, Rockholm, Five Shires, City of Stars, Serene, and then you take out the Broken Lands. So that takes out 6, so you got 11 left. All right. You take out the ones that don't have any historical equivalents. Minrathad. Okay, it's a melting pot. Yeah, Alphatia looks like Persia, but their culture is nothing like it. If you want Persia, you have to go. That's Sind. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, Alphatia has a Persian appearance, kind of, because the art's all over the place. But actual Persia is Hul. So you kick out Minrathad, you kick out Alphatia, because they don't really have any historical equivalent where you can actually follow it. Okay, so that leaves 9. Glandtree is fantasy Yugoslavia. It's all of the cultures crammed into one. So that one really doesn't count. So who do we got left? Western. You've got Karamikos, which is Serbia. You've got the Northern Reaches, Vikings. You've got Darakan, which is kind of Switzerland. And then you've got Fatis, which is Rome, Byzantines, and the Holy Roman Empire. So there's 4. Okay. Norwald's part of Arch-Fae. That's kind of like, that's supposed to be like Iceland. So then you've got the other four. You've got Irindi, which is obviously Polynesia. Yalarim is the Saudis. You've got Ethengar, obviously Mongols. And you get the Etrugan, Native American. So you've got 4 Western nations. You've got 4 non-Western nations. It's not, you can't claim it's Eurocentric when it's pretty much broken down the land. Yeah, I've got the broken lands, but they're, humanoids. What if one immortal decides to turn the world into the spell of Glandtree and Dirakin? It'd probably make it show the flaws of the spell of preservation even worse. Yeah. No, the Hul, it's very Persian with the names. It is Master of the Desert Nomads, and then they later introduced more into Hul, and it was very odd. I mean, his appearance in Master of the Desert Nomads is the Ayatollah Khomeini. So, and you've got Japan, you got Miyashima we've got 3 Indias. You've got India in the Hollow World, you've got India in Sind, and you've got an Indian equivalent of filled with Rakasta on the moon. And that comes nowhere near as how many Spains we have. What there's 4 Spanish equivalents in the Savage Coast. Oh, thank you, Black Raptor. Yeah, people call it cultural appropriation, but they're not asking the people from those cultures that love it, because this is amazeballs. It's like, I want to play a Korean. Try Ochalia over in Thyatis. Oh my God, this is amazing. Yes, this is what I want. It's like when I was doing the Etrugan handbook, and it's like, I need some help, and the guy from the Pacific Northwest was like, oh, nobody ever does the Pacific Northwest tribes. And the guy Marco, that was Tom, and he's not the Salish, but he's one of the ones that are like nearby, and he helped me immensely. Yeah, and then so you got 4 Spains, and then you've got the Belcadese, so 5 Spains. It's like, hey, we need another nation. How about Spain? We already done Spain. Do it again. And then, well, actually, they didn't come from the elemental planes, because you can visit Old Alphatia in Bruce Hurd's first master level module, the Into the Maelstrom. And because they actually introduce what would later become Genasi with the Glandtree book. Yeah. Tom's famous words were, I asked him, was like, what language, so how do I spell these names in your language? You don't. Absolutely do not. It's like, my culture's language has a love of compound words that would make a German tap out. You use the Navajo, because everybody will recognize the Navajo. It's like, well, how do I pronounce this? You don't. It's Navajo. Yeah, that's one problem, Colin, is they don't read past the first paragraph. It's like, what's this? It's a bunch of words. They just assume that all of this, because you've got, canonically, you've got the Minoans. They're over. They mention them. It's like they're over on an island, off of Skothar. Then you've got the Bedouin. They're represented heavily. They have the Tangorans, which are Central African. The Hin and Mystara. Everybody around here, everybody plays on like Ash from Evil Dead. It's like, okay, I don't want to be a fighter. I don't be a fighter, but when I am, I'm really good at it. Yeah. Kimru and beef. Yeah, Navajo is the most. That's because Navajo is like the most complicated language ever. It blows Icelandic out of the water, and that's the most difficult. Welsh is the third most difficult language to learn, after Hungarian and Icelandic in Europe. Navajo's off the charts though. But yeah, the guy that was working on that helped me work on the Aztecs, his tribe hated the Aztecs, and so he did all of the yeah. So he's like all the stuff that he wrote about them was like horrifically biased. Let me see. Mystara. Well, Mystara does roll some of the Australian into Irindi. No, but I'm adding the Finnish. I've dropped large chunks of the Finnish because the Northern Reaches represents early Scandinavia, Middle Ages Scandinavia, and later Vestland is becoming Renaissance Scandinavia. Yeah. Oh my God. Duin Sharad Kamrag, and it is a difficult language. I finally gave up on Duolingo trying to keep up the words because that just teaches the words. It doesn't teach you the grammar. When you have words that literally change based on what word is in front of them, and I was like, anyways, yeah, Welsh is difficult, and I think I've taught my daughter maybe 12 words in Welsh. Navio Giflam, swim faster. I yell at her in Welsh during her swim meets. All of her class thinks she speaks Welsh. She knows Novio Giflam and Dorak Ima. Swim faster and come here. But yeah, there's 30 people in Houston that speak Welsh, and I'm pretty much two of them. Okay, so the problem, yeah, Wizards doesn't want to touch Mystara because they don't want to offend anybody. If you don't offend anybody, you get pablum, you get gruel. And it shows the fantasy fins have magic battle potions. Actually, I stole a little bit of their folklore, but so did Gary, because the Finnish pantheon was in the original deities and demigods. And then Ed Greenwood took chunks of that, and because you've got Finnish gods in Forgotten Realms, but I mean he also wrote the Five Shires, so there's that one. How did I learn Welsh? Painfully. I took a lesson how to say something in Welsh. My job said that if you became bilingual, we'd pay you 10% more. That was in the byline. So I took a class in and how to speak Welsh, because there's no Welsh classes in Houston, obviously. And then I did that course, and it taught me enough so that I kept working on Duolingo, and I just finally grew disgusted with it. Because it was just like, hey, it was like, you did the grammar wrong. Well, what's the grammar? It's like, we just teach the vocabulary, but we grade you on the grammar. You are grading on the grammar of one of the most hard, one of the hardest languages out there, that literally spells words different depending on where they are in the sentence and what words are around them, and you're not going to teach me the grammar. It's like teaching me the words without teaching me teaching me where they go in a sentence. Let me see. So I'd love to finish learning Welsh, but I got to take another course. I try to keep up with it, but it's hard if you don't have somebody to speak it with you. I speak it with one of the guys at the Black Pants Legion, but I know more than he does, and everybody rags on him because he's actually Welsh. Let me see. How would WotC offend anybody with an updated Mystara? Well, there's a lot of ways. Let's look how they offended people with Ravenloft. First off, they took what made Ravenloft great and chopped it up because they didn't want, adult subjects, because they're kind of reducing it for the kids. And Ravenloft's not the place that you that's not the setting you water down to avoid offending people. It's the horror setting. They don't want to touch Dark Sun for the same reason, also because they can't get psionics right. Yeah. One day I'll get a taller chair. I got a big desk, and my chair doesn't reach that high, so it looks like I've shrunk. So they're afraid that it was like when you get the people that said, okay, well, I represent, all the people of this culture, and this offends me, so this is going to offend all the people of my culture because I speak for them. Okay, what if we go to somebody else in your culture who disagrees with you? Does he speak for your culture too? Because that's happened multiple times. Yeah. It was like, well, I speak for all gamers. And all the gamers don't have a problem with Mystara. We like it better than anything else. Let me see. Where was it? Oh yeah, Dovehold, Barony of. Created in 1006 AC to try to get this one taken from the lands of the northern long ago settled by the Friends. Coat of arms. This place is boring. Okay. It has few resources except for its large herds of sheep. It is a boring. Okay, so yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Mystara got hit by the silly phase hard. There's a lot. Serene. You're gonna have to completely. I had to completely change the theme of the Broken Lands. Yeah. It's like, hey, we're hired. Go through here and find everything that offends you. It's like, if you don't find anything that offends you, then the book's fine. It's like, what if I don't find anything that offends me? They don't need me. Yeah. Again, stay away from sensitivity readers and go with awesomeness editors. Like, hey, what makes this book? How can I make this book even more awesome? Do this. Got it. Doing that. Let me see. Okay, so Dovehold, which is the farthest northern, is absolutely useless. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Torquin Fall. Oh, it's a ruin. Let's see what's happened in Torquin. Yeah, I'm including... when I have to, I will go to the vaults, because the vaults are part of Mystara. You can't separate them anymore. Yeah. Well, once I get finished with Dungeon Master's Guide, I am going to throw myself into Dragrider. It's like D&D but fun. Here we go. Let me see. Torquin Falls. This is not... Mystara Gnomes. Apparently this was an old Gnomish? Okay, we will make something up for Torquin Falls. Because there's nothing... The only thing we have in here is... Okay, and then put... We will add Torquin Falls. It will be ruins left over from when they drove out all the dwarves, and it will have all sorts of stuff like that. And once you start rewriting the books in Extimus, yeah. I mean, we saw what they did with they hurry up and rushed Spelljammer out, and it was an absolute catastrophe. Then Ravenloft, which is like, well, we can't scare people. And it's like, well, this is body horror. Ooh, it's got a tentacle. It's like, okay, I once wrote a screenplay for a guy that had Freddy Krueger show up in H.P. Lovecraft's dreams. It didn't end well for Freddy Krueger. Frederick, good German name. Reminds me of my favorite book in German, In Achsprechen Kolten. Good people, the Germans. Very efficient. Very efficient. Left nothing to the imagination when writing up the books on the old ones. Ah. Come and... My friends want to meet you, Frederick. Come, stay with us. They insist. Yeah, some people had issues. H.P. Lovecraft had volumes. I saw one guy doing an argument on if Lovecraft was racist or just crazy. And it was one guy was just like decided to list off his phobias, and he's like just reading off of this one list of paper, this one sheet of paper. Like he was afraid of this and this and this. Who the hell is afraid of doilies? Mist, Germans, anything west of the Mississippi, anything south of New. You know, he reads and he turns over the paper and then continues to keep reading. Spelljammer. It's going to be hard to beat the debacle that was Spelljammer for which one was worse. Let me see. There's plenty of less than stellar art than Mystara. Will why does 5e have art that is boring? Because boring art is safe. They don't have to be action scenes. They don't want to, it's fast to cram out static art. You can still find the extra racist print edition of Spelljammer everywhere. It didn't sell well at all. I still see stores with the collector's edition. Yeah. I don't know. I look at the Hadozi and I see Eddie Van Halen. That was, because, they were stealing from Star Frontiers. They were trying to copy Planet of the Apes. And yeah, it just didn't go over well. They had marketed it as like, hey guys, we're a bunch of Dutch rock stars. Yeah. It'll be planar travel just to those planes. And that's the thing, is if they wanted to make good money, go find the people that, rather than like going on Twitter to see who complains the most, go on the DMs Guild and find out who are the people getting paid by the gamers. Yeah. Yeah, the Yazarians. That were the Hadozi. The Hadozi were originally the Yazarians. And yeah, they looked like Eddie Van Halen. They even had the long, flowing 80s hair. But the Plasmoids were from Star Frontiers. Yeah, people remember Spelljammer fondly, but they forget Spelljammer sucked. And even the people that wrote Spelljammer admitted that they were just like writing it and throwing it out. Okay, so there's the dangers of Glandtree. I work with a lot of artists, and if I put AI art in there, they will cut me off and not work with me anymore. So no to AI art. Artists will blacklist you if you use AI art in your book, and I know I run a Facebook page with over 50,000 of them. We put up a poll that says, should we allow AI art? The vote was 97% to 3%, with over 30,000 votes, and it's a closed group, so they had to be members to vote. That's how much they hate AI art. So, yeah, there's somebody, the lady that did the voice of one of the Daphne cartoons is in a bit of a pickle because somebody used AI voice to create Daphne for some cartoon he made, and she blasted him for doing AI, and then somebody pointed out that she was selling AI art on her front page of her website. Now she's catching, yeah. Artists will descend like vultures if they think you're using AI art. Okay. So so there's Dangers of Glandtree. The Secrets of Irindi. See, this is, so we, like, everything has, okay, let me actually skip down to the Karamikos, because this was my, the Karamikos was my test run. This is how the nation sections are going to work. This art here is by Faith. I think her name is Porter now. She got married. she hand drew all of this. So you get, let me see. Yeah, so she hand drew all of this, but it was from a different style, and people. So, but I'm still using it because, well, I paid for it. Let me see. Do you think the difficulties of designing rules for 3D space contracts? No, I think them being lazy contributed to Spelljammer being blah. Artists generally, do they accept AI generated reference images? Yes, but you got to be careful which one. Yeah, this is that's pretty much what AI art is good using. Hey, this is my general idea for my character. I mean, I experimented with it for a while, and it was bad. All it does is take up other people's art and Photoshop it automatically. So okay, so this is what so you get the conflicts. The whole thing is this book is written for dungeon masters, so they need story hooks. They need to know what how to approach it. You need a conflict. Without a conflict, you don't have a good story. So, for example, you have the Thaetian versus Trollodaran. So, yeah, you've got, the Trollodarans that were already there, and you got the Thaetians, and there's your conflict. Then you have the Duke versus the Baron. Okay, Stephen Karamikos versus, Ludwig von Hendricks. And you got that fight. You got the religious conflicts between the three churches, the three families. So, going back to Veiled Society. Bringing law to the lawless. Most of Karamikos is unpopulated or sparsely populated, so you have to go in there and clean things out. You've got the slavers, so a good chunk of the nation is filled with the Iron Ring. Then one of the most popular parts of the rewrites for Karamikos is giving von Hendricks a family. Because now you've got Olivia von Hendricks. Von Hendrick? You got Olivia Sophia von Hendricks fighting for control for the Baron's focus or attention against Bargle. And then down here, and then at the bottom, you've got when they find out about the Trolladar, the history of the Trolladar and peoples with the Hatakans and stuff. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, the problem with AI art is the artists will keep attacking because they don't want their art even remotely sourced. It's brutal. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler, but that's Cross Mountains is pretty much just monsters, according to every source we could find. Let me see. And then, okay, so the next part on the book is the personalities. And again, we use as canon as possible. And again, a lot of deep dives. So let me see. Let's list them off real quick. Cardia's carpet service. She is canon. She runs the flying carpet transportation services at a threshold. Excuse me. Demetrios, King of the Beggars, also canon. Alina Halarin, we all know and love her. Jenna of Trolladara, she is from Heroes of, or Hail the Heroes. So she's actually from the second edition. She's one of the people that made the Cult of Halov so strange when you read the leaders of the Cult of Halov, and they're all good aligned except for one. And even he's neutral. Adriana Karamikos, we've got the heir apparent. Alexis Corrigan, he's the Seneschal. Let me see, Meslo of Riflian. That's actually one of my old player characters. I snuck him in there because I ran out. He is the captain of the Elven Guard. Ilyana Penhaligon, coming from Queen's Harvest. A very underutilized villain, sadly. Probiscus Prometinius, the captain of the Crimshine. We're actually going to be doing that one in from a dungeon magazine. He has a riverboat. Anton Radu, we all know and love him. Rahazia. Titus Severus. He is the Duke's chief bodyguard. Thaetian-born immigrant sent to be his bodyguard by Emperor Thincall. Yeah, he might be based on Titus Pulo. Let me see. And then let me see. Lord Zimeros Salescu. He's the... let me see. He runs the domain of Celesco. He's the one that's secretly a Nosferatu, but he's so old and powerful that he doesn't have the vampire weaknesses. So I always ran him as a comedic piece where he's like, people are trying to prove he's a vampire, but he always has a legitimate excuse. You know, like the party shows up to, you know, confront him, and he comes out at high noon. Like, yes, can I help you? Let me see. Amelie von Hendricks. She's actually one of the most popular of the von Hendricks people. Yolanda of Luln, very canon. And Alric Zavros. I think he's canon. I think I pulled him from a Dragon magazine. So, let me see. How did Alina get raised in the canon? Her uncle is a very, very powerful cleric. They briefly go over it in the Karamikos book. That's a lot of the stuff I have. It's mentioned once, and then I have to fill out the rest. Yeah. Ray Winstone, you will be missed. Titus Pulo. Yeah, it's like... okay, and let me see... What's next? Okay, so here's the danger section. And here's the problem I'm having is I'm trying to do as much canon as possible, but I lost all the danger sections for most of them. So I was doing the danger section first. Actually, I was doing the personalities first, then I'm doing the danger because the conflicts are a lot easier than finding 16 different adventure locations and trying to do as canon as possible. 16 for Alphatia, Etrugan. I wrote Etrugan. I've only got 14. The Broken Lands. The Broken Lands only goes to 11 canon because there's not a lot in there. A lot of them don't mention anything. There's only 8 for the City of Stars because it's a city. Ethengar only has 4. Because there's no permanent locations. The 5 Shires, I think I had 12. I lost all of this. I'm having to rewrite all of this right here. Glandtree, I just wrote. Dangers of Irendi. Irendi has 6. Irendi is kind of boring. Let me see. The Minrathad guilds, they didn't have many either. Northern Reaches, they actually almost completely maxed out. There's a lot of places to get stabbed in the Northern Reaches. Dangers of Rockholm had about 8. Not much given outside the city. Dangers of Serene, not many. Darrican was one of the hardest because there's like only 6 because it's Darrican. Thyatis has quite a bit as well. And then Yalarum has about 10 or 12. Ray Stevenson's dead. I was wondering, have you ever thought about making your own Mystara, the one based on culture and history in your own setting? Yeah, I've kind of done that by expanding, when I decided to do all the African nations. Yeah, Mystara does not have a true Underdark. They have the world below, and the world below, that's an upcoming video on the differences between that. But the world below is not as expansive. It's huge, but there's like the world below under Glandtree, the world below under Thyatis, the world below under Alfheim. Thank you, Brian. And all the different world belows don't link up. If you go down on any of them far enough, you'll hit the Hollow World, but you can't go underground in Glandtree and then walk staying underground. You can't walk all the way to Thyatis. And it's very geologically unstable. That's one of the biggest problems with not the writing of it, but yeah, you just can't. Okay, I'm going to go build a city in the world below. Okay, and then the cavern caves in. Yeah. Yeah. And so let me see. Okay, so where did I leave off with Karamikos? Because okay, so yeah, here's the 16 adventure locations I found for Karamikos, and which ones are canon, which ones are not. Blight Swamp, that's canon. Big Swamp over on the west near Fort Doom. Caverns of Chaos, obviously, keep on the Borderlands. Elton Spring is from the box set. Fogre Island, that's from Night's Dark Terror, also in the original Gazetteer. Guido's Fort from Horror on the Hill. Haven from Haven was a problem because I had to figure out where to put it because it appears on canonically it appears in 3 different nations. The High Forge Testing Grounds, which is something that you guys really like, is the Gnomish War Crimes Incorporated. So I just expanded on that because you guys really like nerve gassing kobolds. Korozeski Keep. Oh, here's a problem here. That should be bolded. See, that's why I talk to you guys, because I find my own mistakes, as few as they are. Korozeski Keep is classic from the red box set. Whoops, went too far. Krakatos. Krakatos has got a really weird window where it's a ruins up until like at the start of the 1000 timeline, and then it quickly stops becoming ruins when Master Terrari rebuilds the city. Let me see. Interesting source of conflict in Daracon will be... Yes, that is the whole premise of House Ithel. I will show you that. Let me finish this and I will show you some of the good stuff there. I'll show you... Chapter 4 is complete. I will show you Chapter 4. I just need the art. Oh, wait. I gotta wait for the thing to save because it's been 20 minutes. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Yeah, Chapter 4 is complete. I've got to finish Chapter 1, and then I've got to add a fair bit. I think Chapter 1 is going to be 60 pages. And can't be 60 pages because this is 17 times 4. 17 times 4 is 68. Because there's 17... 17 things. Yeah, here we go. This will tell me right here. 71. Yeah, I'm at 68 pages already because I've got some of the stuff already done, and some of the stuff at the front is like table of contents, introduction, full page art. So yeah, so this is going to be quite substantial because I've still got to do some of like the spirit world, the Great Barrier, rules for that. And those are actually going to have like physical rules, Dimension of Nightmares. Okay, so let me see. Where did I leave off? Krakatos. Yeah, you only have a limited amount of time that Krakatos remains a ruin because it gets rebuilt quickly canonically. Lake of Lost Dreams with the Pixies. That's from Night's Dark Terror. Love is from Hail the Heroes. It's the Lost City near underneath Kelvin. Lost Valley of Hataku, also from City of Lost or Night's Dark Terror. Marilenev, the classic one. It's Lady Marilenev wants to see Duke Stefan dead. She's powerless to stop it, so she's just going to let her domain rot. The Mirror Dimension from Skarta's Mirror. Ixtaka, also from Night's Dark Terror. That's the ruins. And Zardeth, another lost ruined city, again from Hail the Heroes. So yeah, okay. So let's look at Chapter 4 to see who we got. Yes, and you will notice I used pretty much the same art for placeholder. This was going to be the original Dragon Knight art. I actually have the completed piece. I was giving a new artist a chance, but the Rubus said that he was going to in the player's handbook. He said that he would agree to do it for a discount if I agreed that if he wanted to do the DMG, he could agree to do that. So when he said I want the DMG, all the art that I had done for this, except for Faith's art, because he doesn't do cityscapes, became redundant, or it became obsolete. Okay, so Legends and Legions is going to be... I need to put a thing introducing the different power players, but I've already done that. Just so you're not just jumping into this. So you have the 10 most powerful people in Mystara, or at least in the known world, Prince Etienne d'Amberville. And they will have the title, their age, where they were born, their alignment, their source of power. Then you have the history, what gives them their influence, who their allies are, who their enemies are. A host of adventure hooks for each person. Then you have Empress Ariadne, Hosadis, the Master of Hool, Corwin Monty, leader of Darrigan, Matazumi, the chief librarian in charge of or over Serene, Orin Meditor over in Minrathat, Oberon, we know and love him, Tovrovra Farmarva, that is the Queen of Seaholm. I said it was Aqua Rendi, but it's actually Seaholm. Let me see, Rethanas Tarkus, I just did a video on him. You guys really like Christopher Hivju. Fencall Torion, because, of course. Okay, so then we need to do... Yeah, I'm going to have to add pages between this. So, then we have 20 new factions. Oh, I have... Yeah. Let me see. We have 20 new factions, and some of these are official that have been fleshed out. Some of them I created to fill in holes. We will have some random generation tables, but filling in space, probably going to have to cut some stuff out. I have way too many ideas and suggestions for what people wanted. And I would rather have specific rules than random rules. But, I mean, the adventuring section is going to be large portions of the old wilderness and dungeoneering guides welded together. Let me see. The bone armored character. Oh, yes. Let me introduce you to... These are all actual Fae creatures from either lore or Shakespeare. So you have Robin Goodfellow with the green hair at the front. There's Titania. We had to upgrade the Fae to Arch-Fae. One thing about Titania, her feet are never touching the ground. She is always floating. In every depiction we do of her, she's always floating a few inches off the ground. She never touches the ground. Oberon, and there's Oberon's Major Tom. Gwynop Nuth, the Ashen-Faced Lord. Yeah, those are dragon bones that he's forged into armor, and the bones of things that people... You don't fuck with this guy. He's the most powerful. He's the most powerful physically of all the Arch-Fae. He'll cut through armies without getting a drop of blood on him, but he doesn't like politics, so that's why he lets Oberon run things. And then you have Bregbethel, the Green Knight, and again these are all from either Welsh, Arthurian, Irish, Scottish, folklore, the old Brits. Yeah, any resemblance to Sean Connery's role in Sword and Valor is purely intentional. Krethilev, the mistress of Love and Desire. Canonically, she has a romantic, either their brother and sister or their former lovers, and it changes depending on the story. Gilly Doo, the Old Man of the Forest. Yeah, he's a weird one because he can appear as either a really dirty dwarf or a tall, emaciated ent, depending on which folklore you do. Ariel from The Tempest, and then Mob, Queen of the Night from Romeo and Juliet. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah. Is anybody going to be interested in 5th edition after they water everything down and turn it into 6th? I mean, that's the problem we're dealing with. Is any demand for 6th or for 5th edition books after this? And even then, are they going to let you write for 5th edition, or are they going to tell you have to upgrade to 6th edition? Because if it wasn't for the restriction on 5th edition, this book could very easily be Rule Cyclopedia. You know, that's the issue. Is legally, what does Wizards do? Because I have no faith in how they're going to, on how they're running their company. You know, I've got a brilliant, I've got some wonderful ideas on how to modernize Mystara, not by making it for modern audiences, but dear God, man, I did a 3-hour stream just correcting continuity errors. You know, we can fill in the blanks. We can make the setting a lot more interesting. We can, we've got, Darrican has 40 cities and it goes into detail on all of them. Glandtree has just as many. It goes into detail on one of them. There's a lot of blank spaces we can fill out. So let me see. Well, let's I still have a voice. Okay, so then you have the 20 different factions for, and I've covered some of these back before they beat my love of D&D out of me for a while. Okay, so yeah, I definitely need to put a page in between here and there. Okay, so these are 20 factions that you will run across, and some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them are neutral. Anwick Shipping Limited. This is the Minrathad Spy Guild. This is their cover agency. And you will see Winona is in the placeholder art for almost all of this. There's a reason for that. Not because she's a goddess but partially. When Rubus is going through here and trying to figure out what he wants to do the art, if he sees this piece of art, it means obviously it needs to be replaced. So if he's all of the art is going to be, all of the placeholder art is going to be Winona. That way we know exactly how many we got left because we can just search for that image and replace it as necessary. So okay, so you have Einwick. Everything tells you the purpose of it, what type of company it is. In this case, it's a shell company for the Minrathad Guilds. How many people are involved? How far it is functionally, and the current status. So it's open, it's legal, actual status, and secret illegal. The status is illegal. Oh, and there we go. It's saving. So yeah, if you wanna run, and then hold on, I'll let you know as soon as this finishes updating, because it does this every once in a while, and it's annoying. But it beats losing pages because it doesn't upgrade. I will take my time while I wait for a sip of a refreshing beverage. Okay. Oh yes, I stole from Midsummer's Night Dream. I stole from Romeo and Juliet. I stole from The Tempest. Let me see. Everybody always asks me about this one. So let me see. Midsummer's Night. Okay, Puck is Midsummer's Night Dream. Titanian Oberon, Midsummer's Night Dream. Gwyn ap Nuth is Welsh folklore. Bregbethel is Arthurian folklore. Crethilev is Welsh folklore. Gilly-Doo is Scottish folklore. He's where we get the term ghillie suit. Oberon is The Tempest, and Mob is Romeo and Juliet. Ask me how many times I've seen Shakespeare as a theater critic. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, they all use Winona as a distraction. Yeah. I have no idea. Oh, it was because you asked me. Oh, Rocker Boy, you asked me to one time because a while ago I was being there was a bunch of porn spammers all over the place, and they were overwhelming they were overwhelming the feed. Let me see. How long till the internet is upgraded? Not fucking soon enough. They're on my street. The people are upgrade. The people that are running the upgrade are on my street now, but they're still several hundred yards from my house. So yeah. Okay, so here we go. Who else is next? Okay, we have the Brother of the Radiance. You know they were going to be in there. Oh, and when you're doing this, all of this, it gives you, this is the history. It tells you, then it gives you a bunch of adventure hooks for every single one. There's like 300 adventure hooks in this book, and I'm only a third of the way through it. Council of the Desert Rose is from the Yalarum source book. It is canon. This is basically the Knightly Order of the Desert Faeries. Daughters of the Gladius, this was cribbed from Theatis. It's a bunch of abolitionist fighters that want to tear down the various slavers there. The Dragon Knights, taken from Palace of the Silver Princess, only expanded outwards. Fire Wizards of Honor Island. Irindi, I was trying to expand upon them a lot. I think I did a good job. Golden Totem Trading Company. This is the up-and-coming merchant guild from the Etrugan Turtle Clan. With the death of the Turtle Clan looming, or not the death, but the Turtle Clan splitting away from the rest of the clans. House Ithel, as I mentioned previously, again, to give Darrican some bad guys. The Iron Ring, please hiss the villain. Let me see. Have I ever considered enslaving text to be a video editor? I've talked to him about it before. He's got a project that he's working on that's kind of huge that I can't talk about. But maybe, because he does long form videos and he pays his people. I don't make YouTube does not pay me much to do this. Okay, they pay me about half of a car note for my videos. I've got 2 million views. I just passed that a few weeks ago. I've reached the lower stages of the I'm either high mid tier or low high tier for the other deep lore channels. And I still don't make I don't think I've ever cracked $500 on a monthly thing. I try to put out 3 videos a month. I'm actually seriously behind on the Sea Home video, but you guys just handed me, a bunch of stuff, and I said, hey, let's get working on the DMG for some. Yeah, only 300. YouTube does not pay well at all. If you want to you need about 100,000 subscribers, and if you're not a Forgotten Realms lore dive, you don't have. I think I've got after let me think. Deep lore people. There's not many of us that aren't Forgotten Realms. You've got Dragonlance Sagas. I think he's got 26,000. That's it. So I'm number 2. I've got 10,300. Okay, the Ravenloft guys. Ravenloft Travel Agent hasn't posted in 2 years, which is sad because she was good. But Hour of the Raven, that's Hour of the Raven. He doesn't. I think he's got about half of mine. I don't know of any Spelljammer. I don't know of any. Planescape guys. There's very few of us. There's now 3 Mystara people. Beg Me Berserker. When I finally get my my internet upgrade, I'm going to be doing a collaborative one with him. He's catching up. It's like he's at I think 5,800. But he's also British, so those guys have an unfair advantage because everybody, when you sound British, everybody thinks you know what you're talking about. I mean, he does some great work, but like low and slow is a a low and slow voice. That's like a sipping whiskey. You don't want to take it all in at once. Let me see. Rocker Boy. I am, like I mentioned previously, I am using Zara Designer Pro version 19. This will cost you about $300, and but it's not a rental. That's the biggest part of it. It's not a rental. You have a perpetual license, so you basically have bought it. That's the reason why I like it, because I hate rentals. I was using Lucid, and they were charging me every month, and then I said I don't want to use them anymore, and I don't want to use you guys anymore. It's like, okay, fine, you can't access your book. Well, fuck you. Let me see. Yeah, well, there's my channel. First off, I have DSL, so the quality of my uploads are usually crap. That's holding me back. I don't have a lot of fancy video graphics. It's like I don't, for whatever reason, people that put on green screens and appears like, hey, flashy, 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 fun, 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 look at me, look at me, look at me. Those guys get a lot more. I don't have a green screen. I have a front door. Okay, my house is tiny. It's paid for, but it's tiny. I don't have a recording room. Yeah. So like I just that's why I put on the but I put on the deep dive stuff. I've been gaming for almost 40 years now, and like that's when I try to do this stuff. That's why I've been throwing out more help tips, because I see a lot of these people go in and say, well, here's how you game, and here's a bunch of basic stuff that you should know. And it's like, okay, that was great to know back in '86, but there's more to it than that. And that's why I'm trying to. My next tip video is how to introduce people to the game, because there's a lot of things that people don't realize that it's like they say, well, don't gatekeep. Yeah, but screen like hell. I mean, screen like you're trying to keep out mosquitoes. Anybody can play the game. They just pick up the book and play, but not everybody's a great fit for every game. So yeah, I'm coming up with like tips for how to run, how to, introduce new players. And above all else, one of the suggestions is grab a friend. Grab a friend that's been gaming with you almost as long as you do. Oh no, nobody's better than me. I know that. I mean, this is me we're talking about here. Yeah. It's like I get I focus on like 10-minute videos. Yeah. Because the long forms you tend to lose people. Don't get me wrong, I love a good long form every once in a while. Yeah, one day, like, and just, yeah, I try to be as pretty as possible. That's why I wear the hat, for the same reason nymphs wear bathrobes, and with the same results. Now, if I could just grow this out, I got too much Chiricahua in me. Like, I come from Western European stock: Welsh, Irish, Scottish, English, German, Dutch, and a slight sliver of Chiricahua Apache. And damned if the slight sliver of Chiricahua Apache does not wreck my chance of growing a full beard, among other things. Got me some killer cheekbones though. Let me see. Where did I leave? Oh, you're gonna make me wait again because you upgrade. No, so I try to grab the my big focus is I gear more towards the dungeon masters or people that just want to know the lore. That's why I do the revision videos. I like, okay, this is how you run the adventure. Oh, okay, we lift off at the Iron Ring. Oh, Josh Perdahana. It's the questing monks from Champions of Mystara. Have we ever gotten in contact with the Winona? No, I don't think she even knows I exist. I missed my chance when she was filming Reality Bites here in Houston. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so these are the questing monks from Sind, Knights of Ebony. Those guys got adapted into Mystara canon faster than I even thought possible. The Lighthouse Expedition, that's from the Etruscan book. It's the people from it's a group of people from the Hollow World that have discovered the known world rather than the other way around. Madame Maricel's Maritime Manor, because I love me some alliteration. This is a group of shadow elves that have arrived on the surface and realize that the only way they're going to survive is to blend in. And the only way they can blend in is to start acting like the water elves from Minrathad, because they have a strong resemblance to each other. Let me see. Yeah, I have a lot of, if I ever meet Winona, I'm probably going to have to explain to her why I use her in all of my videos, and I blame you guys, because if I don't put her in there, you start screaming. Let me see, the Repossessed. Actually, we have art for the Repossessed. These are dwarven conspirators trying to start up old mines to gain money to hire to try to overthrow the king. Seekers of the Fist. We were looking. Okay, so these guys are a religious cult trying to bring back the Carnifex, and this, when we replace this art, this will be the first. Let me see. This will be the first image of a Carnifex ever, because they don't appear in their own module. That one's messed up. It's like, these are the Carnifex. They're really bad. Can you describe them? No. Can you show us a picture of one? No. Okay, moving on. So big bad lizard guys. The Supreme Symposium of Gnomish Syndicates, which I introduced in the history lore. And you guys fell in love with those guys. Yeah, it's like, hey, we're going to roll in. Here's mustard gas. You guys like mustard, right? 10,000 Fists of the Khan from the Ethengar and Glandtree books. They're important. They were actually going to be a playable faction in... I think they are in the Player's Handbook, but they didn't work very well, unfortunately. Thar's Legion. Another major faction. You can actually serve as mercenaries for them if you want to. Von Kessler Merchant House. Let's go to be the lawful evil slavers rather than the chaotic evil slavers. Wizards of the Savage Coast. Badoom Cha. These guys are in the known world hunting down red steel and similar items. Okay, and then there's the treasure. There's the relics and riches. This is the chapter for like magic and the different coins and stuff like that. And real quickly, from my very first gaming group, there's Skex's Strange Hat with all of the tools in his hat. Keegan of the Shield, and then there's Morgan Ironwolf. Old stuff. The lighthouse, let me see. The lighthouse the lighthouse consists of a group of people that have all thrown off the spell of preservation. There's rules for it in the Hollow World. We'll tell her to say hello. And people that have thrown off the spell of preservation are trying to actually save the lore of all the cultures. And there is in canon there's a magical relic called the Palace of Etruscan, which has an elevator which takes you from the known world to the Hollow World and back again. They found it and they have been using it to explore the known world. So yes, the lighthouse is canon. Their throwing off of the spell of preservation is canon. And the expedition is just a filling in the blanks. Did Blackmore have any toys that can wound a Tarrasque? They had toys that could tear a crater out of a quarter of the country. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they could wound the Tarrasque the same way a load of buckshot wounds a squirrel. Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's the sneak peek of the Dungeon Master's Guide. It needs a lot of work. I've got to do a lot of typing. I've got to do my lore deep dive and try to find 16 locations, and I'm not going to find it all for all adventure 16 adventure locations for everybody. So I'm just going to have to grab what canon ones I can and make up the rest. Yeah. Like eventually, if I ever had my druthers to continue, I would like to do like the Western Alliance building an airship and going to explore Skothar. You know, they did it with Devania. Do it with Skothar. Like, you know, the Duke wants, you know, or King Stefan wants to see what's out there, and he wants to have his allies help him. Be like a Star Trek. That's how you do a Mystara streaming channel. You basically do it like Star Trek, only it's like an airship that flies from one nation to another. And you can have, you know, you can have the Heldonic Knights or something. But that actually requires decent writers, sadly. But we've only got 2 books left for 5th edition. Phandelver, which is going to be a hell. I'm going to upgrade that to Mystara because that's what I do. And, well, no, we got 3 because we've got the deck of many autistic things. And yeah, just when you're a writer, if you can, if your editor can realize that the character that you're writing is you did a bad job. Speaking as an editor, I say that firsthand.